Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Two Half Squads, the one and only podcast dedicated
To the greatest game in the world.
Advanced Squad Leader. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Dave.
And he's Dave. And this is episode 301. Somehow we made it to 301. Thus silencing all the people that said we wouldn't get to episode 301.
Yep.
All of them. All the naysayers. And they're out there. They're out there. The naysayers. We didn't let them in. They have to sit outside. So here we are again when we're starting. I guess we got another 100 episodes. Now that we started the 300s, we got to go to at least 400.
Yeah. Well, and there's no guarantees of anything at this point in time and at our age. I'm still missing my tooth, Jeff. Even though, hey, if anyone watched the YouTube and kept a close eye on it, you might have caught that quick shot of Dan Dolan's teeth. So even though Dan says teeth are overrated, I'm still missing my tooth.
I'm sorry about your tooth, Dave.
Yeah.
But I've told you, I think you could put like a D10. If you
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Right size D10 might fit right in there. Real nice.
It would be cool.
Yeah. A lot cheaper than ordering the tooth.
Yeah.
Which is
so
expensive.
Indeed.
I think they'd be, I wonder if there's somewhere cheap that does them cheap, like Thailand.
Mexico. Yeah.
Teeth for half price.
Yeah. People have gone to Mexico for surgeries, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if it works the same
So what
way.
you been up to lately, Jeff?
Well, I played the lottery day. Well, we had this big lottery. I don't know how many states. I don't know anything about the lottery. I used to play the Illinois State Lottery back when you only had to pick. There were only 40 numbers to choose from. And now there's more. And I actually used to win occasionally with that one. But there was this big thing. I was over at a client and he said,
is it called the Mega Million?
Mega Million, yeah. And there's a number of states involved. And I've said to my clients for years, I've always given them a secure database with all the information that I keep on them, passwords, logins, all that stuff. And I give it to them and I said, you need to know where this is in case I get, what's the typical thing people say? In case I get
killed.
Yeah, hit by a bus.
Tragic accident at a beanbag tournament.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Well, I don't say that. I always say to the clients, in case I win the lottery, you need to have this because if I win the lottery, you're going to get nothing from me but a postcard.
Yep, that's right.
So I said that to a client the other day and he said, oh, did you hear about the lottery? It's at $1.3 billion. And I thought, okay, maybe the universe has given me a little nudge here. And he said, you can even install the app on your phone. So I thought about it for a day. It kept niggling at me. And I think this could be it. This could be it. So I installed the app on my phone. It was about an hour till lottery time. And I thought, this is great. I don't have to drive over to 7-Eleven or something and stand in the line with the great unwashed to buy my lottery tickets. I could do it from the comfort of my home. So I figured out how the app worked, and then I went to check out and pay with Google Pay, and it wouldn't take my payment. So I tried.
Your credit's no good here
Yeah,
either?
There's money in there. I was only spending $14, and I keep a lot of money in that account. There was like $25 in that account, at least. So I tried switching to my credit card. It wouldn't take it, and I thought, well, the phone app is no good. And so I went over to a computer, and I tried it there. So I tried 2 more times, and then it said, you've tried 4 times to check out in the last hour. Oh, now you have to wait an hour. And I just uninstalled the app, closed it on the browser, and just thought, today's not my lucky day. Forget it. But apparently somebody won. I think they won $742 million.
Yeah, I lost my ticket, so I don't know. I bought it in Des Plaines.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's where the winning ticket was sold.
What?
Just a few miles from here.
And I lost
just a few miles from here. Hey, go in and go tell the lottery committee.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll believe you. You're a honest looking soul.
Yeah, I have not done the lottery myself.
Yeah.
No.
Do you not believe in it?
Kind of, sorta. Yeah. I mean,
it's gambling.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily that. I remember someone telling me like the lottery's for losers,
Well, that's true. It's like a tax. It's an extra tax you're paying.
but it's
but you
like a
don't-
game,
It is like a
right?
game.
So is there a little thrill in looking at the ticket, or
I don't know if it's a
I don't
game
know.
because there's really no strategy to
No,
it.
it's not a. How'd you pick your number? Oh,
I just did the quick pick,
so it's random.
random.
Okay.
So I didn't
Yeah.
win. And if I had, there would just be like a postcard taped to the camera here that says Jeff won the lottery and he is gone. But I don't even know what I would do. I'd probably buy a gaming table.
Would you?
Yeah. So what have you been up to?
Well, we did have Laura's dad come in. Her sister brought my nephew in to visit colleges, Northwestern, and they stayed for Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, and then left dad here, Laura's the dad, Don. It was quite fun, long days, but we did the driving range,
Ah,
and he can still swing at 84. And I cannot. And Laura got pretty okay at it. And even Saturday, when after my men's group, when Chris was and I were going to go play tennis singles or singles, which would have killed us physically.
yes.
I was like, well, Laura and Don are here. Maybe they want to go to do golf, Chris. He's like, yeah, I golf a lot or a bit. So we all went to the driving range again. So we did that 3 times
Oh.
while Don was here. Did the botanical garden, did the concert of Chicken Slap, my son's concert, fundraiser for Ukraine, to weapon systems, or raise money to buy big weapon systems off. You can go on eBay and stuff. You can find these third world dealers in these weapon systems. It's crazy. And then you just order the stuff and we're going to somehow ship it over to Ukraine.
Yeah, it's the shipping that'll get you.
So-
The equipment itself is not that expensive.
So-
Surface to air missiles, those shoulder.
Be humanitarian help. And Laura's dad actually danced. Got it. We thought it'd be funny to walk across in front and dance. They had a mob of their friends and friends and all singing along, and the band's pretty good. Chicken Slap. They put it on YouTube live stream
Oh,
also.
and he danced.
So-
Did he get in the mosh pit?
He did pretty good, Jeff.
Yeah.
But Laura and I were like, don't let him fall.
Yeah.
84. That's our job. Do not let him fall.
Yeah.
So
You
I
gotta,
kind of stayed on one side.
yeah.
And danced a little, and
Oh, if he can swing a golf club, that's pretty good.
yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah. And walk, for short distances and stuff. So we did bring like a travel chair to the botanical garden. It was a beautiful day. And today, then he left already, and Laura left. So I did the movie with Marianne and Megan.
Oh, what movie?
Nope.
That's a movie?
Nope.
It's
Yes. Nope's a
Nope.
movie.
okay.
It's Keel and Peel and Key.
Oh, yeah.
Key and Peele.
Peel and Keys.
Yeah,
or
he did
something.
the director did the first film was Get Out, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Now that was pretty good. That was really good, I thought.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
Pretty like figuring out what's going on, and then got real intense. And then the next one he did it where there was a family of doubles that came into these people's lives, and I kind of like that too. This one was aliens, some kind of alien life thing, which was like UFO thing. So without saying too much, it was a very unique take on aliens.
Did they come to take over the earth?
No,
Good.
yes,
Tired of that.
it was it was just telling a story on a farm, horse farm, and a little small, I don't know what state, Arizona, Nevada. I don't know where this, or California. Well, they were Hollywood horse trainers. But anyway, no, it was more about it was the aliens were very, very unique. So that's all I'll say at this point.
Okay.
But we liked it. 3 of us liked it.
Yeah.
I think his first film, Get Out, was probably the best. So, yep. And then on Netflix, Love, Death, and Robots. Have you heard of this thing?
No, I haven't. We don't have Netflix.
Remember Heavy Metal movie?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a sequel.
Oh,
But then it got not produced, and then it got produced, but because Netflix was going to put it out. So it's short 10-minute, 20-minute vignettes,
yeah.
unrelated stories. And I'll tell you, listeners, if you like the heavy metal thing, it has the feel totally of that. Some are inappropriate nudity, lots are inappropriate violence, but I can do the violence better. The opening story with 3 robots investigating what happened to mankind. Thought it was fantastic. And then several more, very intense. One was like a horror story on a ship with a creature. Amazing direction, amazing animation. You got the time, go do them. You don't like the nudity, try to look ahead and figure out which ones are PG-13. But creativity, Jeff, is blowing my mind.
Oh, that's good.
All these people sitting around making these short stories.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wowed by this thing.
That's good to know. Good to hear, because there's so much stuff that's just sequels and redos and reboots.
This did not seem
all that stuff. It's like another ASL scenario. Another one? World War II again?
No, Korea this time.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, we've got a show going here at some point.
301.
Yeah, 301. Can't believe it. 300 was fun.
And we needed to do some drawing of the winners.
Oh, that's right. Should we do that now?
We have Feast in the East. We had 10 entrants. Yes, indeed. We had Richard. We had Pyfor, Bruce, Christopher, Anders, Rick, Gordon, Mark, Zeke, and Rick. And that is an even 10. I think, Jeff, I can hear the dice rolling. He's going for a 10-sided dice.
I've got dice and I've got a cup here. It's not very fancy.
We should have drawn this on episode 300.
Okay, here's the dice for people that are actually watching this. You can see that I'm not cheating. Here it is. Give it a good shake. And the number is, now I'm cheating, 10.
Oh, that is Rick Niznansky. You have won the Eastern pack that we put up for the contest. I don't have it here.
Oh, great.
But I will ship that out for you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And then
don't forget to claim that on your taxes.
Interestingly, we had 10 for this one, and then we offered Sword and Flame. Deadline is today. We're going to draw it anyway because no one's going to come in before midnight. And
which is a huge pack.
So you think more people would have been interested?
Yeah, I guess, but well, maybe we didn't make a big enough deal about it.
Nope, same deal as always.
That's the way it goes.
Nothing different this time.
Okay, and how many did we get?
We have a bunch in our speak pipe, and we're going to play those for you now.
Okay, here we go.
The question is, what do you like about ASL? I think it was, yes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, congratulations on 300. I would love to win the Manila. And yes, I'm from Canada and I would gladly pay the shipping. What I love about this game is its intensity, its variedness, and how the community itself is a great bunch of groups all the way across. Thanks for all that you do.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
It is a great community.
Yes, it is. All right, we've got one here from John.
Great job, gentlemen, on your 300th episode. And thank you to Jared, Rich, and Mike for the interesting conversation. My favorite thing about playing Squad Leader is when I find I'm in the middle of a battle using a familiar board like 1, 2, 3, or 4. It doesn't feel like the action is taking place on a familiar board, but it feels like a small piece of Russia, France, or Germany. or Scandinavia. The ability of the game to abstract the map's encounters to a realistic situation really makes the game special. I was also thinking about Mike's comment where you might have 90% casualties at the end of a game. I wonder if a KIA might really represent when a squad becomes so demoralized or loses their weapons in a scramble to save their lives. It just runs away from an incredibly dangerous situation that even if the squad has not literally been killed, it's been degraded to the point where that squad has, for all intents and purposes, given up. Then they aren't going to be a factor in that day's battle anymore. I guess I'd like to think that more of those little cardboard guys will make it home to their cardboard families. I just won a scenario pack in a recent contest, so please don't put me into the drawing for the Manila game. I can already tell from your What's in the Box review that I'm not even close to being able to make any good use out of it. Good luck, though, to everyone who enters your contest. It's quite a generous prize.
Oh, well, thank you, John. That was very nice of you. So we will not put your name in there, but we'll keep your name for maybe something in the future. Here's one from Alan.
Hey guys, Alan from Edinburgh here. I just wanted to enter your latest contest, if that's okay. I guess what I really like about ASL is the fact that knowing that however long I play the game, I'll never know it all. I really have trouble with the rules, but it's a great game. Okay, cheers, guys.
Alan, you're a man after my own heart. Very well said. Here's one from John.
Hi, Jeff and Dave. Dave and Jeff, or Jave and Def. Not sure if that's ever been resolved, that controversy. You had wanted to know what people loved about ASL, and what I really love about it is the historical modules. And I like the scenarios, but it seems like, you know, that last turn or two, you can kind of throw out some weird gimmicky stuff, but the length of the historical modules is awesome because, you know, you're not sure exactly when the scenario is going to end. You have an idea, and then you also have to preserve your force for the next one, and then you know, purchase your next troops to add in, and that's just pretty cool and helps you learn about that historical situation in a interesting way. So, hey, congratulations on 300 episodes. This is John. See you later.
All right.
Thank you for that, John.
It is correct about the Yankee. When you say janky stuff at the end, doing
Yeah,
it at the end of a scenario.
yeah, pulling out all the tricks.
Yeah.
This is Rick from Milwaukee saying hello, Dave and Jeff. Or is it Jeff and Dave? I don't remember if that burning question was ever resolved. So I'll just start over and say hello to Hef Squads. It is so hard to choose one thing I love about ASL other than your podcast, of course, shameless pandering there. But actually, I think I love the Vasil computer program the most. Without it, I don't think that I would have ever even learned the game. And of course, it was indispensable during COVID. So I'll say I love Vasil. And thanks again for the podcast. Bye-bye.
Excellent.
Thank you for the pandering, Rick. We'd never get enough of that. And here's the final one from Rob.
Good morning, Dave and Jeff. Hope I'm not too late to enter the contest. Just want to congratulate you guys on episode 300. I've been listening to you for, probably I joined in around episode 19, and of course listened to the back episode ones. And I just wanted to say you guys were really good for me back then. I was going through a little tougher time. Got diagnosed with depression. And the funny thing is you guys were always there for me, whether you knew it or not. I would just put you guys on at night sometimes, just before bed, listen to you guys. And I like the ASL content, but it's just the fact you guys are great conversationalists. Just having you guys talk about stuff, whether it was ASL or life or Dave's stories about his adventures or various animals, it was always good. So I just want to say thank you very much. You guys were really been an important part of my life, actually, and it's you've helped me a lot, and I'm in a really good place now, playing ASL, having fun. Life's good. So thank you very much, and please keep going if you can, if you want to, but I'll keep listening. Have a good day. Bye.
Wow.
That's very humbling.
Wow. Thank you. Jeff is going to roll the D6. And the 6 won't count.
Here is the 6. Here is the die. Here is the 6 that won't count.
Did you?
It goes into the magic plastic because we spare no expense. We have no expense. Oh, and it's a 6. Okay, so I'm going to roll again. And the number is. Hold on, there we go.
And the number is
1.
number 1. Alan, you are the winner. That's going to cost us a lot of shipping.
It is. We're going to send that to Scotland.
Alan Hume.
It'll be cheaper for us to fly it there, Alan. So I think I'll just bring it in my luggage. Oh, we'll figure that out.
All right. Excellent.
So there we go. When we got more contests coming up, everybody. So I hope. you
Yep.
keep
This one
listening.
right now.
Oh, we got one right now. Okay. What do we got, Dave?
We have Rally Point Volume 10, October 2015, the best of Pete Schelling. So these are 10 scenarios previously released in Schwerpunkt.
I'm going to roll for that one right now. And oh, I won.
Oh, Jeff, you are the winner.
That should happen.
So actually, listeners, go ahead and give us an email with the Rally Well in the subject line
Really well.
by September 1st.
Yes. That's gives you a good 30 days. Got to
Excellente.
be able to handle that. I know a lot of people are under stress. You're busy, but you should be able to do that.
Rally Point.
Send us an email with Rally Well in the subject line, and we will enter you in the contest and we'll draw you on then.
Yep. Or we'll
Great.
just draw a picture of you.
Yes. All right. Well, we're about 2 hours into this show and nothing's happened yet. So,
How about a what's in the box?
oh, splendid.
2 actually.
My favorite time is come.
First up, Jeff, how about this?
What's in the box?
What
What's in the box?
what do you think about 3-player games? The actual 3-player games with the 3 different nationalities on the board.
What do I think about them?
Yeah, do you remember playing it?
Yeah, I've played it probably just 2 or 3 times, and each time I had a very good time.
Excellent.
Yeah,
we
it was-
did Dogs of War.
Yeah.
Was that the one? I think that was at home. I should have checked who we gamed with.
At your house?
I don't rightly recollect. I remember playing it
Yeah.
and loving it.
Yeah, I don't remember who we played, but it was somebody nice and
Was it Mark Woods at a tournament? No, that was the second or third
Yeah.
3-player game.
yeah.
And then I think Dave Timonen and I and someone else, was that you? We did the Mouse of Madness
Yeah,
from
that could be.
the
I know I've played that one.
that was from the Communist Revolution pack from Le Franc Terreur.
Right.
That's got so many different battle options going on. Well, what has come out is the
Something from MMP.
March Madness
MM.
3-player game scenario pack. I did a little bit of a deep dive on it. It's not too long, but we look at all those scenarios. Would you like to have a look?
Yes. Let's take a look.
Here it is.
Hello, Advanced Squad Leader fans. Today we're going to take a look at a little pack called the 3-player pack from the ASL March Madness group that would include Dan Best, Dave Mareski, Rick Reinish, Paul Works, designers Dan Best, Nigel Hickman, Dave Mareski, Scott Mullen, Steve Swan, and Paul Works, etc., etc. Well, you already know if you've played the 3-person games that they're very unique in ASL. First one I remember was Dogs of War. Dogs of War. That one was Time on Target 45. Really, that long ago, I guess so. And that game had Germans versus the ROA. What was that? I don't remember. I'm looking at the ASL archive here. And the Czech Partisans. It was some kind of Russian dudes. I remember playing that one. And then also in the Mouth of Madness from Le Francteur from the Solar Pack 4. That one had the Bolsheviks and the social revolutionaries and the Red Russians. And ASL Journal 11 has aiding the local constabulary, and it is Italians, South Africans, and some Italian mutineers. I played that one also. I think there's been a few more, but if you can't get enough of these 3-player games, you're going to want to get that 3-person scenarios pack. No one is safe. Kansas City ASL. All right. MM68, Aliwas Escape. Poland, yep. April 1944. What we have here is a failure to communicate. The Polish, we call it the AK, Armia Krajowa. An element of that was pushed by the Soviets to fight against the Germans, elements of the 5th SS Panzer Division. And the Soviets didn't support them, of course, when they got into battle. And so they ended up trying to break out of the situation. So you have the Poles, Russians, and Germans all duking it out for victory points. Often it's the one with the most victory points game in. That is the case here. The partisans get the CVP for German units and half CVP for Soviets, and double the exit VP for partisan units exited. So that's a nice little touch. They want to definitely kill Germans. They get some credit for eliminating any Russians in their way, and they get double points for exiting. Germans get CVP for both partisans and Soviets, and the Soviets get CVP for partisans and Germans. Exception, the Soviets get double CVP for partisan units captured, thus quadrupled CVP at game end. Makes it very interesting. Special rules are the Poles are partisans, the Soviets 328s, half squads, and any recombined 628s are NKVD squads from the Valor of the Guards rules. And if you get a casualty point for no obvious cause, like fate, any CVP awarded to the closest known enemy, and then if equidistant, use random selection, and then you each have your own little player record here for rally phase, prep phase. Nice to help keep track of everybody. That's Aliwa's Escape. March Madness 69, Marsh Rochampfe. This little Scott Mullins design. Scott, nice work. 6 boards, very large, 12 turns, night rules. This is a morning mist on these with the +1 low visibility stuff. And you got the Soviets, the Russian partisans, no, Ukrainian partisans. Yeah, I didn't figure out why they would want to kill, the Russians would want to kill the Ukrainians, probably some long-standing thing historically. And the Germans are trying to exit now. This one's very unique. Not only, as you already saw with the night becoming day, but the Soviets, the Germans enter on the south edge of the board, and they are all cloaked up for night, and then the partisans set up north of a streamline, and I haven't brought that up on Vassal or set it up at home yet, but and then the Soviets come in on 15 squads worth of horses, and then a supply convoy also. East or west edge of the boards, and that's turn 5. They're not even going to enter for a while. For scoring points on this one, side with the most victory points is the winner at the end. Everyone gets CVP. Germans get additional ones. Exiting friendly units, north edge, for having good ordered German squads on the board at the game end for each scrounge, successful scrounge of any type. We'll look at the special scenario rule 7, and 3 victory points extra for each Soviet truck they destroy. So that's be a big one there, and 1 for each scout car. Soviets get additional victory points for exiting friendly vehicles off the north edge, and the partisans receive additional points, double for German Soviet MMC eliminated in close combat. For some reason, they want to do close combat. 1 for each building the Germans have not scrounged, provided neither the Germans nor the Soviets control that building, so they want to protect buildings. 1 for each captured Sioux support weapon they possess a game in, and 1 for each half squad capacity of horses they pick up from the Soviets. So they want to gather resources, protect buildings. So it's very interesting. Partisans bands to include Ukrainska Provintsna Armia. Time for a Google search, fans. Yep, that's the Ukrainian Insurgent Army. So no wonder there are insurgents going on here. So very fascinating setup for 69. The special rules, the night stuff, the haze, their partisans, the Soviet vehicles, a convoy, and to a certain position on the board, the Germans cloaking. They can hide units. The Germans can hide units during the game. So in addition to smaller and scrounging, special rule 7, there for unarmed units and vehicle scrounging for sport weapons and unarmed units, armed German MMC may scrounge buildings, trucks, and scout cars during their own rally phase. So they got all this scrounging stuff going down. So that's kind of cool. And that special able to hide. And also on this, here's a list of the 3-player games that I didn't know about. Dogs of War, and then there's this Whom Gods Destroy, Journal 171. I dropped off my journal playing around 110 or scenario around there, and then got playing all these Bounty Fire production games with Mike and all these other stuff, and haven't got up to that one yet. The Constabulary is J164. I think we did that one ahead. There's FB14 at the Narrow Passage, the Mouth Madness we mentioned, Burmese Bandits, Frank Terror, the Deluxe Pack 1. So there's 1 in there, and there's also 1 bought in the new Deluxe Pack, but there's a War of the Gargantuans, ESG 126. There's is Not to Reason Why, RPT 110. Able Was I, Ere I Saw Elba, RPT 31. And I played that one, I know. Hogan's Heroes, BWM 0. Don't know that. Slaughter at Shandarovska, XX7. And Normandy Journal de Stratégie. March Madness 70, Vilnius Breakout. This one is in Lithuania, 1944. And this one has, at the end of the aftermath, it gives you a nice little clue here. The Vilnius garrison had provided the Germans a strategic respite of 6 days, tying down major Soviet forces and allowing the Germans to establish a defensive perimeter in the west. And then the NKVD arrested Vilnius leadership and other Polish government representatives and began conscripting many Polish army resistance fighters into the new Polish army being formed by the communist government. So it's the Polish army is Krakow army, the Soviets and the Germans in this one. And the victory points, again, that's kind of makes each one unique. The Germans, it's the most victory points again, but the Germans get them for Soviet and partisan units and exit and prisoners. The partisans get the full CVP for Germans, half again for the Soviets, and 2 VP for each bridge location control. 1 VP for each location control in specific buildings on the board. And the Soviets get the full CVP for Germans, half for the partisans, and 2 VP for each bridge location on board 79 control. So you can kind of get a little battle for the bridges, and there's this it's interesting. I'll be interesting to see how the half victory points for one of your opponents versus full for the other affect the play of this. You know, looks like the Germans could have a tough time, but you know. And so the special rules are pretty standard. There's a low visibility here in the packets for the morning. The Soviets don't begin until turn 3, so that also be interesting to see how that plays out. So 2 of you get together, you play turn 1 and 2, and the guy can show up for the next night and finish the game off. And the partisans again use Axis minor units and support weapons. Next up, MM71, the Brits lend a hand, part 1. It's a 2-part scenario. They recommend, of course, playing part 1 and then play part 2 with the modifications from part 1. Interesting. Your OB here is German, German, American, and British. So you're wondering, when would these 3 groups fight? They're not going to. The American forces are not going to engage the British forces and not treat them as enemies according to special scenario rule 2. Lots of counters on this one, 4 boards stretching across and full length boards, and only 6 turns here. The Americans come on in 3 different turns, 1, 2, and 3. Germans have a ton of half tracks and a Panther platoon, 3 tanks coming on. Looking at some of the special scenario rules here. And victory conditions. The side with the highest VP wins. The CVP are awarded normally. The Americans additionally get 2 for each building location controlled at game end. And the British additionally receive 6 for each building location controlled at game end. See rules, special scenario rules 2 and 7. The Germans additionally receive exit victory points going off the south edge of the board. So this is in Belgium, by the way, December 25th, 1944. American and British may deploy to enter as half-track passengers. The Americans that enter vary on different roads by turn. So turn 1, 2, or 3, you'll have to look at those entry levels areas and then make a decision. And Americans get some air support, 2 44 fighter bombers with bombs. Aircraft may not attack. A known British unit may not attack during the British defensive fire phase. And if you don't enter the Americans by turn 4, they're eliminated. Points going to the German, and any and all German half tracks set up with their passengers may set up with their inherent passengers unloaded, exit from the vehicles. Crews having abandoned their vehicles and having removed all their stuff from the vehicles and as assembled support weapons. Germans can also deploy to get into the vehicles. So again, that'll be interesting to see. That's part 1. Part 2 is MM72. So to kick off part 2, the Brits lend a hand, MM72. You need to go to the special chart, which then lists the conditions from part 1, which award or deduct forces from your starting forces for part 2. So that could be kind of cool. For example, for the Germans, for the number of German squad equivalents exited off the south edge, they can add to the OB. And that, infantry for every 3 squads added this way, added 1 machine gun, blah, blah. Number of German vehicles or guns exited also, then they can add a German AFV or gun of the same type, highest victory points. You get some reinforcements on turn 2, additional. Second highest victory points, you get more stuff, reinforcements, like an 80, a 468, and a Panzerschreck. For the British, you get the highest victory points. They can add 2 squads, a medium, a Sherman. Second highest, 1 squad, support weapons, and a half track. British tank, half-track destroyed by burning. And the first part is remove a vehicle from the second part, etc. So Americans have the same kind of chart for them. So there you go, part 1 and 2. That's a Paul Works scenario. The last 3-player scenario, guerrillas, as in the fighters, MM73, Gorillas in the Mist is ahistorical. Is it ahistorical? I suppose it is. An original scenario designed by Nigel Hickman, 3-player conversion done by Steve Swan at Encircled Productions, LLC. And it's in the Congo with Belgium defeated political elements in the Belgian Congo began to agitate for independence from the Belgian government in exile. Guerrilla bands formed. The response of the local administration was to meet force with force. In the northwest of the country, local garrison began to counter guerrilla sweep. And due to lack of effective communications, garrison was not aware an Italian force had crossed. So this one's going to put the Mount Matumbo garrison and small. These are like all about 8 squads plus some, you know, sport weapons, and then a Italian group, and then a Liberty Society of the Congo coming on as the third party. So the Italians, the partisans, and the Belgians are the Liberté Party of Congo. Victory conditions: partisans win at game end if any partisan units are hidden or hit. Ooh. Otherwise, the side with the most CVP of unbroken non-crew infantry remaining on board between a stream and another stream at game end wins. So is this a game about survival? Could be interesting. It's only 7 turns, smaller units, 1 board, board 36. They can give that a shot. So that'll wrap up the scenario pack, March Madness, ASL 3 scenario pack. I think it's still available. I think I bought this one. I like the 3 players. Why not have more friends get to enjoy Advanced Squad Leader with you rather than just one opponent?
Well, that was very interesting. Those sound like fun. You know, and it's such a bizarre concept. We're so used to a battle having 2 sides only. Have you ever seen a movie where there's 3 sides? Oh, I guess there's the Battle of 5 Armies on Lord of the Rings. Were there really 5 armies?
Yes.
I remember that they were fighting against the orcs.
1, okay.
And then there were the elves,
Yes, 2.
the dwarves,
3.
humans.
4, Lake Town.
Yeah, Lake Town. And then the robots. Oh, the dragons, the eagles.
The Eagles, number 5. Bjorn didn't count, although he rushed into the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was all very confusing. And you just don't see that many movies or anything where there's battling multiples at once. So it's a very different concept, and I really like it. I'm sure there are people that don't. I'm curious why they don't.
Yeah,
Like
that could be
it.
interesting.
Yeah. But you like them, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. You get to have another person come and join the game.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of this little diplomacy stuff going on.
A little bit.
Little bit. So what was really unique in those scenarios that we looked at just now, I like the way they had all the victory points messed around a little to where the one side entered later. And so then they scored points, full points for the one killing the one guy and only half points for killing the other guy. That made them really unique also compared to the normal ones.
Yeah.
But so that's a what's in the box. I'd like to keep that little pack for myself, and maybe you and I could play through some of those with Rizzy, Spilky, Timonen,
Yeah.
maybe Doug Grease again.
Right. That'd be great. Love
And
that.
now to finish up our show, it's another what's going on.
What is in the box? What is in the box?
Did you reverb us?
Don't sit down and take off your socks. Let's go to what's in the box.
That's the jingle. We need a new
That's
jingle.
the
for
jingle.
that. So Jeff, what is in the box here?
Looked like a winter offensive pack, which is perfect because it's August 1st.
Uh-huh, that's how behind we are and
That's how
everything.
we roll.
I couldn't find my Green Hell of Einor. You get your usual little card, tells you what everything you should have in the packet. And check it out.
Check it out. This is a board. Wow. This is a historical ASL
No,
size board. It is not.
guess again.
It's just a big old board.
It's just a big.
Is
old-
that right? They just decided to do a big old board?
Do you remember what the games you have? Did you ever have those games?
Which
There
ones?
it is. Streets of Fire.
Yes, right. Oh, so it's like that?
They're this
Oh, they're
big.
that size?
It's
Oh,
called
okay.
Deluxe ASL.
Yeah.
So this is not the deluxe pack that we looked at from LFT earlier in the year. I guess that was last year. This is from MMP. What's on your board?
Well, I've got Hill 357.
Can't beat that with a stick.
I mean, oh, here, I guess I should turn it around. So there's a
There we
2-level
go.
hill, there's a 3-level hill. There's a nice
Ravine,
river-
gully.
gully running through it. Running downhill, there's probably a pretty little waterfall. Be a great spot for a picnic.
Right there. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty normal, typical looking board, just with the nice big deluxe hex sizes.
Yeah. No, getting a lot of hills in deluxe with a 3rd level. I don't recollect if they did that on the LFT product too, on all the new boards in there. But in Streets of Fire, there were no hills, and Hedgerow Hell, maybe it had 1 level hill. Can't quite remember. This is board N. Similarly, it has a mountain. Can I have yours? And let's see if this goes together in any kind of way. They're what are they? They're Does
Geomorphic.
that look okay? Or is
Yeah, that does look right.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
So they fit together. Is that making a big hill or something?
Yes.
Well, looky there, kids. You got a big hill from Deluxe. And that's not all. You got 3 boards.
That's pretty sweet. Now, how long has it been since a deluxe?
Product. Well, they reissued. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you had the LFT thing was the first, like, let's go back to Deluxe as far as I can remember. Some scenarios here and there in the action packs, whatever. Wow, that board, Jeff, is a lot of orchards
very many orchards.
and grain. So that's also going to be unique for these kind of boards. So the LFT product, and then this pack, bonus pack 13, all deluxe stuff. And then they reissued all the old Streets of Fire that you have there, Hedgerow Hell, reissued from MMP, put it all together into 1 pack, added in a bunch of scenarios from the journals, annuals, etc., etc.
How many scenarios come in this?
4, a
Okay.
whopping 4.
Whopping 4. So I've got a scenario here called Shotgun Shuffle, which takes place in Saipan in June of 1944. So this is fun because we've got some Marines here, some of the more up-to-date advanced strong Marines, 7.68s and some 4.58s, about
Mm.
18 of those.
Late war. Well, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, against not as many Japanese units, but they've got to move against the Japanese, and the Japanese get to set up trenches and 4 pillboxes, and they will be defending that. Now, what's kind of interesting about this one, typically, I think in these scenarios in the Pacific PTO, Japanese have a really good advantage in close combat a lot of times.
Yes.
They're very good at it. But in this one, the Marines, prior to close combat resolution, unpinned good order 4.58, 2.48s that have not been ambushed may make an IFT attack versus in-hex Japanese melee units, applying all firepower modifiers and die roll modifiers normally.
Oh, like
So,
shooting.
yeah, so it gives them a little extra. So the Japanese may hesitate a little before jumping into close combat.
Mm.
So that looks kind of fun. And then on the other side, one smart bastard. Can I say bastard?
No, Blastard.
Oh, blastard. One smart blastard, which takes place on Iwo Jima. This is an Iwo Jima scenario on February 28th, 1945. About 20 Japanese and they've got one AFV and a couple of infantry, an infantry gun and an AT gun, a bunch of pillboxes to set up against 20 7.68 Marines. And the Marines also have 4 AFVs, including the flamethrowing tank. Always great. And they have an AT gun. And what's interesting about this one is the Japanese have a little purchasing table. They get 30 points here so they can purchase additional stuff like trench counters and mine factors and AT mines, wire counters, concealment counters, tunnel. Oh, and what I like about this scenario is tunnels and cave complexes are not NA.
Oh, you don't have to worry.
Whoop, whoop. Instead, each cave pillbox is connected via tunnel to every other cave pillbox within 3 hexes.
Okay. No in-depth caves back
Nope.
further back
Nope.
in reserve area.
And there's a couple, like I say, you can purchase some extra tunnels if you want to, but the typical tunnels and cave complexes is NA. And
Wow. Can you show us that scenario?
Oh, yeah. Didn't think of
For our
that.
YouTube. Usually we ignore our audio listeners. Now we're ignoring our video
Yes, we are.
video watchers. One smart blaster. Oh, they left the L out of the
They
word.
did. Yeah.
Oh, there's the table.
There's the table for purchasing.
Yeah, it gives it some nice variety.
Yeah.
These do seem like a lot of counters for a deluxe game. Well,
Yeah.
I can't remember the Streets of Fire probably had a lot of Russians against Germans lined up on the roads. I played them all, but anyway, I have 41. This is designed by Pete Schelling, and these are both Korean War scenarios. So
Ah.
Dave Timon and I were playing through the Korean ones, and he was interested in trying some deluxe. Well, guess what? Now he's got the Korean ones on the deluxe boards. This is boards N, H, and O. So H is from one of the other games. I don't know. Hedgerow Hell, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H from Hedgerow Hell. And it's just a 5.5 turns, but it is 20 squads also, Jeff, for the North Koreans trying to exit points off the south edge. And another 8 coming on turn 3. And then the defenders are holding up. Well, you got 25 plus, 30. You're looking at squads coming on here.
But you got these big hexes, so you don't care. You could stack them all up in the same hex. You don't even care.
Yeah,
They fit nicely.
that is true, but your board's going to be pretty full, so it's just going to be a slugfest. Some people don't like the deluxe because you lose to the maneuver.
Yeah.
I think Jim had said that on our interview. So the South Koreans and the North Koreans, 1950 August, and then on the back, and this ammo shortage. Alpine hills are in effect, steep hills. So that'll affect your line of sights in those hills, but there's not a whole lot of hills as we saw on those boards. But an ammo shortage for both sides. And then the next scenario is a Spartan style WO42, and it uses all 3 boards from this pack. So it's got the hill, I'm sure, and then this board M, which was the orchards. Yeah, I think so. But you have the United Nations forces here. They're the Greeks and the Greek Hellenic Battalion. To win, the Communist Chinese got to have 1 good order MMC at level 3, provided the UN forces do not have more unbroken victory points at level 2. So it's kind of like break a lot of the guys at level 2 and then get 1 guy up on level 3. This also has the steep hills in effect. That's a Korean War terrain. Both of these have the Korean War terrain, obviously. And ground snow, make it a little different there. And they treat a foxhole as a building for rally, which I like, because if all you got's the foxhole and you're out there, right?
Yeah.
I like that. Stay in it and try to rally. Where else you going to run?
Right.
And then Communist Chinese can have some troops come on later. Again, there's 30 or so. No. Oh, this has these 417 squads for the Chinese. Now, Dave and I looked that up and I forgot how they work. I think they're like just for, they don't have guns. I think that was it. I think they're just throwing grenades or rocks and stuff. Oh, Commissar. But still, that's 20 regular squads against 13 of the Greeks defending with the standard array of support weapons. So there you go. That's what you get in Winter Offensive Bonus Pack 13.
Pretty cool. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of variety there, as one of the people on Speak Pipe said. Lots of variety, which is great.
I think that's all we got for you for episode 301.
Okay. That's it. I guess in that case, we'll wrap it up and we will hope to see you guys next time, and gals. For episode 302, we may have a guest with us next time. Is that right, Dave?
We're hoping Rich Spilkey.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about prisoners. So everybody get on your striped pajamas and stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up later this month.
Indeed.
And in the meantime,
remember to roll low
and rally well,
but not when you're playing us. Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.